In this video, we react to Marvel's Secret Invasion Episode 5. Welcome back to Eat Sleep Nerd. In this video, we continue our Day of Reaction video series for Marvel's Secret Invasion that you can watch over on Disney+. I am your dorky DJ, Corey. Dorky DJ, Corey. I ran out of breath. Corey Winter, and joining me as always is my nerdy brother, Josh Winter, and our geeky friends, Jason Summer and Christian James.
Is that a Scooby snack?
No, it's a cork. I was going to have it.
Okay.
It's a giant bottle of wine, and I've been gnawing on the top of the cork. And no, I don't know.
That's
Anyway.
normal.
I was like, all right.
You guys know I don't
but-
make cuts anymore, so this is all going in.
Yeah.
I was fully aware of that. We're good.
Good. All right, so diving right in, we are all back to discuss Secret Invasion. It feels like it's been a while since all four of us have talked about this show.
Yes.
So
Not that it deserves much of our time.
wow.
Wow.
Wow. So how are you feeling about the show so far? We have one episode left after this one. So
This was the penultimate episode.
the penultimate episode. How you guys feeling about it? After 5 episodes.
It's
Uh,
you know what? The second half of the season has been better than the first half. So I have been enjoying the last couple episodes. 4 and 5 I did enjoy.
Okay. Josh?
How do I put it? The show is good. The show is good. There's nothing wrong with the show. The biggest issue that I'm having is literally just with the MCU in general. And I think I'm just over it.
Yeah, you've been saying that for like a year.
Yeah, and I think it's true. Like, because again, I enjoyed the show while we were watching it. I had fun. It's a good show. Jason's correct. The tension is building. It's doing a good job. I just don't care.
Well, that seems like a personal problem. So, Christian,
wow,
how about you?
wow.
How does this
Okay.
invite
Wow.
an objective
let's-
discussion, Corey?
let's not actually discuss why we think that might
Right.
be an issue. Like, it's cool.
Wow.
It's fine.
Well, to piggyback off of Josh, it's like, I guess me and Josh have the opposite feelings. Like, I've enjoyed was it Phase 4? I always forget.
We're in 5 now.
We're in 5. So yes,
Yeah.
Phase 4, I enjoyed most of it. And especially going to the show is really good. But for me, I expected in this episode to get a little bit more. It felt like it was stepping on the gas and then immediately braking back and forth throughout the whole episode. And the way they've left us off in the past episodes were a lot better than this one. Like, it's cool, yes. Fury's back. But
Hashtag Josh was right. They did almost exactly what I said. They did.
Guess who's
Exactly.
back? Guess who's back? Guess who's back?
yeah, but I mean, I don't feel excited for the last episode, as you should
Excited
be.
it's going to be over.
Next to the last episode.
Wow, you guys are just all Debbie Downers.
Well, no, like you said, it's a good episode. It was a good episode, good show. But like, where are we going?
Right into the Marvels movie.
But like, you'd almost feel like, so in the Phase 1 movies, you felt where the story was going throughout the different movies. I don't see where we're going past.
Yeah,
this.
like Phase 1, was it Phase 1 and Phase 2, right? That's what brought us to Endgame, and Phase 3?
Phase 3.
Yeah.
Okay. So all those movies, it felt like they were ramping us up to something. Like there was a clear direction, and we knew where we didn't know, but we had a sense. And I get what Christian's saying. Like there's no sense of direction. And it's felt
there's
here.
there's no. It's almost like they're keeping the end goal a secret. Like we sort of had a plan of where we were going, like we were talking about where Thanos showed up.
Yeah.
In the end credit scenes.
Yeah.
We know where we're going.
Avengers 1, you got the tease of who the big bad guy was going to be.
Yeah. But now
I'll do it.
it's like
myself.
obviously
Yeah.
Gravik's a bad guy, but
Right.
like, is that gonna be it? Is he gonna be sticking around, or where are we going? Like I said, you know.
And
Well, why does it
honestly,
have
with-
to go somewhere?
with all the stories that they have opened up in this season, I don't see how they're going to close them all in one episode.
I don't think they will.
I mean, yeah, but I mean,
Yeah.
Well, no.
Just
So to go back to my point, which Corey didn't want to talk about, it's that. Well, for example, we've seen the trailer for the Marvels.
Right.
I know that this all ends okay. There is no real suspense anymore because I know it's going to be okay. So I don't know. It's we've reached the point where the Marvel universe is so big and so interconnected that if you even casually keep up with it, there's almost no spoilers, or it's nothing but spoilers.
plus the timeline of the release of media is so condensed that trailers for something coming out after a current show or movie are spoiling the current show or movie.
Yeah.
Like what you're like with the Marvels. You know, Nick Fury's is in the trailer for the Marvels.
Looks like he plays a decent sized role in the movie. Yeah.
Right. So
But
what's
then
the
again,
Yeah.
actually no, the trailer actually ruined that. Never mind. So I was about to say it's the trailer started up him in space.
Yeah.
So
he's on
I'm
Sword.
thinking-
He's on Sword.
Sword
Yes.
Sword.
that it might be in betwixt or like not between, but like right before what we're seeing, maybe. But then
Maybe.
and then again
Doesn't
in
he
the
have
trailer,
doesn't
he's
he have
on
the-
Earth.
Doesn't
He
he have
doesn't
the
have the
eye patch
beard.
back?
Yeah, he doesn't have the beard.
Yeah. So it's like
so it can't be. It
We're-
has to take place after this.
it's interesting. Yeah.
So, which again, under normal circumstances, that's not a big deal. But this is a spy show. It's supposed to be tense. I feel
And
no
have
tension
intrigue.
because
Yeah.
I know how it's going to end.
Right.
So, I don't know. I feel bad saying all that because it is a well-made show. It's a good show. I enjoyed watching it.
So I think you guys are setting some weird expectations for maybe not weird, but you're setting expectations for what you want from these Marvel shows and movies. Because I'm not feeling any of this. Like I think
Okay.
this show is perfectly fine as is without worrying about what's happening in other movies and stuff that connect to it. I think it's a perfectly fine self-contained thing. Like I know that that's going to be more things that lead into the Marvels because Nick Fury is going to be in there, but like for this standalone show, I don't care what's happening in that movie. I just want to care what's happening in this TV show.
Well, yeah. Well, for me, like, yeah, beyond the connectivity. Well, I guess that's not what I was talking about. I'm not talking about this show connected to anything else, really. But other than where is it going to end?
Yeah.
You know, I have no feeling of where it will end or if it will end.
I mean, I'm getting
yeah.
some pretty heavy hints with all of the like how central of a character Rhodey is that it's going to tie into Armor Wars. So I'm pretty sure there's probably going to be some loose threads at the end of this show that get tied up in future things like that movie.
Yeah, could be.
And
But-
we've got a lot of things that have to happen between this and the future projects. For example, Rhodey is a Skrull. That's going to have huge implications. That either has to be
Spoilers.
resolved next episode, or that either has to be resolved next episode, or like you said, it opens up Armor Wars. Nick Fury at some point becomes the real Nick Fury again. What else? It was on the tip of my brain until Corey did the flashy light, and it literally distracted me.
Maybe if I do it again, it'll come back.
Nah, it's gone, like a fart in the wind.
So
I mean, you
There's
just
There's something
crop
else
dusted
that
everybody.
bothers me. No,
I'm sorry.
it's okay. It's okay. It's fine.
All right.
But
So
yeah, I think.
Oh, Harrison Ford has to become the president. We have one episode to resolve that.
is he?
I mean,
So
we don't
Is
know
he
that
VP right now or something? Have we seen the VP?
we have not.
Hmm.
Have we?
are we getting a Harrison Ford cameo in the last episode?
I mean,
I wonder.
because that movie comes out next year, right?
It
Yeah.
does.
Yeah.
That might just be something that happens off screen.
I mean, because it's in the summary. Like General Ross is President Ross. Like we know that is an established fact.
Right.
But
And
as we
he
said
has
before,
been
he's not
filming.
the president right now. Yeah.
Yeah.
He has been filming, so there's nothing to say they couldn't have done like a 1 minute,
Yeah, a
side
pickup. Yeah.
pickup for the end of this series.
And
Hmm.
the one thing that a lot of shows will do, not necessarily just Marvel, but like you get to the last episode and it's filled chuck full of different cameos, and it's like, okay, we're getting lost in the sauce here with this the
Lost
cameos
in the sauce.
you know, and like it's not like I don't hope that happens, but like if they can do it in a way to where everything's slit, like we'll slide in nicely rather than trying to put a cashew in a puzzle piece.
Where are these expressions?
Yeah,
Well, explain this cashew in a puzzle piece. What is that? I've never heard that before. I can't even. What does that mean?
You just make that up.
Yeah, it's basically saying forcing something that
I mean, we
just be
got what it
forced.
means.
Yeah,
It was a good one, but just never heard it before.
because he just made it up.
You know
I
what?
feel
That expression is just nuts.
Ah. But I feel like you guys don't know me.
Learn something
It's
about you
quite
every day.
possible. Are you a scroll? Are you a scroll?
Mm.
So, dang it, I lost my train of thought too. Ah, son of a biscuit.
Is this gonna help? There.
Now I'm just gonna have a Caesar.
All right.
Um,
All right. Cool. So,
It's an ass.
Just chime back in whenever you
I'll work on it.
come
Okay,
across
give
it.
me-
Yeah.
Give me a minute.
so you guys are talking a lot about just the MCU as a whole.
Well, because you can't ignore that anymore.
See, I kind of am though.
They've built the success.
I kinda am.
I know,
Totally
and
just
that's,
ignoring
and that's
it.
probably why you're the only one who thinks it's a rock solid piece of entertainment. Like you can't look at it that way anymore. They've built their entire franchise on the fact that it all connects.
Yeah.
And that's why I think, generally speaking, phases 4 and 5 have been a bit of a disappointment. Because everything that you staked your entire franchise on has not really been present since Endgame.
And to me, like the whole like Josh was saying, the way that they presented 4 and 5 is that it was going to be bigger than the whole Infinity Saga, more well thought out, and that all of these movies, these shows, and these one-offs would all interconnect well. That is kind of, I think, what we all had the impression of. And it started off, for me, really strong. Like, I thought WandaVision was spectacular. I loved WandaVision. And I'm trying to remember some earlier stuff. I mean, it's just...
I mean,
it's-
Loki as well. Hawkeye.
Loki
was
was
solid.
oh yeah, Loki was
Yeah.
so good. So you had really strong stuff, and it promised a really
lot.
interesting future, like with the multiverse and things like that. But then it just started going off the rails. Like the fact that Wanda was the bad guy in Doctor Strange
I still like it.
2 did just
Yeah, I like
it
it.
didn't
I
make
like that.
sense to me. It did
No,
not
I
make
like
sense
it.
to me.
That
It
was
did.
great.
It did.
No, because for her at
She
the
was a
end of
scroll.
I don't know. But I'm just saying, for her at the end of WandaVision, she was controlling her powers. She was learning how to be. She had gone through her trauma. She had recognized what she had done was wrong, and essentially that she was remorseful for it. And then she had to save her kids, which was the end. Post credit scene. That's fine. But like, oh my gosh, her kids are still alive. Not to the point though, where she'd go off the deep end and kill the whole premise for WandaVision is that she went through the trauma of dealing with losing vision and creating a family, and realized that she was in the wrong, was remorseful, and realized that she had to atone for it somehow at the end of it, and then at the post credit scene is that I guess her kids still existed somewhere, but never in my wildest dreams did I think that she would go completely rogue and insane to save her children, because that went against everything that she learned about herself in the series. So to me, that dichotomy between the series and what she actually became in the movie for Doctor Strange 2 is kind of indicative of the problems for me that phases 4 and 5 have had. They just don't know what the heck they're doing, and the things that they do, they don't make sense to me anyway.
I hear you. I mean, so this is sounding like individual projects, like I've been saying, is that I like individual ones, but when you try to connect them to make the bigger picture, we're kind of running into the issue where the writers and the directors and maybe even just Kevin Feige are not really communicating project to project.
Or they're
about how
pivoting.
everything- Yeah.
Or they're pivoting on the fly instead of sticking to a cohesive storyline.
And let's be real, it's getting to the point where it's awkward now. For example, they made an entire plot point and discussion in this episode about why hasn't he called in the Avengers? And it was
Right.
basically, I don't want to.
This is about me.
Yeah, like it's getting awkward now. Like the world has become so interconnected that it's the most unbelievable part is when they try to convince us why the other people aren't in it. Like it's again, and if it was any other show on the face of the planet that belonged to any other franchise, it probably wouldn't be a big deal.
Right.
But again, that's what this entire thing was built on, is that it all connects and it all makes sense.
I mean,
together.
at least in The Flash, you saw a news snippet of Superman fighting a volcano. At least you had that.
Yeah.
Well,
One thing I was just thinking about, it's not crazy, I promise. The first couple of phases, we had Thanos as the ultimate big bad. Each movie had their own bad guy to deal with. Hela didn't have anything to do with Thanos. or what's his face? Jeff Goldblum had nothing to do with Thanos, technically. So it's like, yes, these other shows have had their own little thing, but it had no story to get to our big bad in this phase. So through the multiverse. So are we saying that the multiverse is just something that we're gonna have to deal with throughout the whole thing and nothing else?
Well, I think that was the plan with Kang.
And it could still be.
It could still be, yeah.
Right.
But like if it is Kang, where is that
Through
story
point.
within
Yeah.
all the other shows or movies to get to Kang?
It just feels like a big plot point to pick up and then not reference.
Because we still haven't gotten back to what happened to the Eternals. There's been like little Easter eggs, but like
Right.
literally no one has spoken about it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And it's
we
almost to
haven't
the point where
seen-
it's a joke.
Yeah.
Right. We haven't seen the giant the giant creature coming out of the ocean again.
Yeah.
Except for that one
Like
little
that-
Easter egg in She-Hulk.
Yeah, like
Right.
if we don't ever get back to that point and then finally get the Kang, hands up. I don't know what to say anymore.
Well, this is supposed to be a half-hour long video, and we're 25 minutes into it, and we have not really talked about the episode.
No,
itself.
mine says I'm only in 5 minutes.
Yeah, so technical difficulties. So we gotta talk about the show, guys. Let's
Okay.
talk about what happened in this show. So, spoilers.
No.
It's happened already. Spoilers.
Fine.
I don't even want to talk about it anymore because you guys kind of ruined my steam.
Good. Hey, we brought him down,
Yeah,
guys.
you brought
Good
me
job.
down.
Woo!
I had so many cool things to talk about.
Wow.
We
Wow.
can still talk about them.
So the president was hurt in the last episode, and taking him to the hospital, and yeah, I don't got it, guys.
I mean,
You ruined my thunder.
Well, no, it was the penultimate episode in a very traditional fashion, because in and of itself, not that much happened other than things to set up the final episode.
Let's actually start with what the very last thing happened was.
Yeah.
Josh was right. His prediction from
This
all
is-
the way in episode 1 of this show was that the penultimate episode, so episode number 5, was all leading up to Nick Fury putting back the eye patch on,
Getting
his overcoat,
Yep.
and becoming Nick Fury again. And so we've slowly seen that evolution of the character throughout the series, where every single episode his beard was getting a little bit more trimmed. He was
looking a little less hobo-ish.
yeah, finally leading up to him getting his eye patch again. So Josh, literally spot on, nail on the head.
That's the way I would have done it.
I mean, can we also talk about why everything was in a different locker?
Yeah, Corey made the joke. There were no actual dead people.
Yeah,
in this movie.
Right, yeah. In the mausoleum. Yes.
Yeah, it was just a
Yeah.
foot locker for Nick Fury.
So did you guys pick up on the metaphor? Like he had buried himself and then he's
Yeah.
resurrected himself.
Oh.
Yes.
Yeah, I did not make that connection at all.
Yes, it's
Mm.
Christ figure. Black Jesus. Sam Jackson.
Well, it was good knowing you all.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to be the weirdest video. So the whole series leading up to that moment. So who knows what happens in this last episode where he's actually just Nick Fury again. He's going to wreak havoc.
It's going to be nuts.
So
I do think they're going to bring it home hard for what it's worth.
Yeah.
I think, like I said, that's what this episode was. It was the setup episode. And they did a lot of setting up. And I think they're going to bring it home hard.
Yeah. We've also been saying, this is kind of going to be Nick Fury's swan song, but we keep forgetting that he is going to be in the Marvels, potentially more things. So I think we're just finally getting a Nick Fury centric episode, not necessarily his last story.
Yeah. And I mean, I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that it is Sam Jackson. So like, I think we remember his character as bigger than he actually was.
That's been my recurring thought throughout this entire show, is that
like grand total, you haven't really actually had that much Nick Fury screen time until this show.
Well, even that, but also he was just always this bigger than life, he couldn't be stopped character. Like back when we first really saw him in the Avengers, he was like this unstoppable force, like this suit, like the spy of all spies.
He is the spy.
He's the commander of this hugely secret.
Yeah, his secrets
government.
have secrets.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then this show is really kind of like really taking it back a little bit and just showing you he is actually just a basic human. He has a house and a wife and
alien wife. He's not that basic.
Okay, well, it's true. But it's just kind of weird. Like he's become humanized, which is just weird for this character, at least in my opinion, from what I interpreted his character to be.
But I also think that's the only interesting story you could have possibly told.
Yeah.
Like from a character standpoint. Anything else would have just been an action movie. It would have just been Rambo with Sam Jackson, which, to be fair, I would have watched. But humanizing him is the only way this show could have gone. Question for the audience, and I don't expect an answer until next week. Would this show have been better as a movie?
Yes. I'm already saying yes.
No. Because I like how much time it has to just focus in on the conversations.
To ruminate?
Yeah. Because like that's what this show has been. Like we've gotten some more action in these past couple episodes, but it's still very heavy on just the long, drawn out, back and forth conversations. So I don't think you could get that in a movie.
Well, you kind of get that in Tarantino movies.
Well,
he is with Sam Jackson. He has great dialogue in his movies.
Yeah,
you can still get great dialogue in a great movie.
I don't know. I guess we'll see. One more episode. Yeah, I could be convinced.
One more.
So anyway,
I'm wondering what is Gravik wanting to do with the DNA of the Avengers?
He wants to make Super Skrulls, and he wants to make even
Super
Skrulls.
I mean, it looks like he already has some stuff that makes them pretty formidable. Why does he need more?
So that was
because Carol Danvers is Superman.
Backing up just a little bit. So that was the big reveal of this episode, is what the actual grand plan was and how it came to be. So Gravik wants the harvest, which is the collection of DNA that they got from the Battle of Earth. So the big battle in Endgame. Nick Fury was explaining that all of the Avengers essentially shed blood on the battlefield, literally. And so after that was all over, they had a secret mission to go to this battlefield to literally collect their DNA. And it turns out that Gravik was actually the leader of that secret team, which is where he probably got the idea of using that DNA to turn the Skrulls into the Super Skrulls.
Terrible name.
Which goes back to Nick Fury feeling guilty for everything that's happening and why it brought him back to Earth, because he felt responsible for it.
Right.
So going back to your question about what he's going to do with it, I mean, I think it's just going to be a continuation of what he's been doing with the DNA he already has. It's like we know he has Groot's DNA.
Extremis.
The Extremis. So I think he's going to, like right now, you can kind of still see that there's a vulnerability. So I think in his mind, if he has the Avengers DNA, such as Carol Danvers, which they called out by name, if they have like Captain Marvel's DNA, they will be unstoppable.
Because she's Superman.
Yeah.
Right. I think the end goal was to have an army of Super Skrulls. But then, as you see in this episode and some in the last episode, that his leadership skills aren't that great.
Yeah, there's a little bit of a revolt.
Yeah. Basically he had one good idea, and I think he's starting to see that's not enough to sustain leadership.
Yeah. Because everybody else, he's pretty much taken Nick Fury's idea of finding them a home to like an extreme, but like still not really doing much about it. Yes, extremist. To an extremist.
Boom.
So yeah, I'm so just going back to the gravestone scene. We saw that that's where Nick Fury was keeping the Harvest DNA, and his plan is to actually just apparently give it to Gravik.
Well,
It's a bold move, Cotton.
It might be like a Doctor Strange kind of thing, like here, but I have a bigger plan beyond
Right.
you having this.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, it'd be kind of weird for just
Obviously.
Hey, you never know.
That's how the show
As you
ends.
will. Yeah. Wouldn't that be a twist?
Like, yeah, I'm going back.
What
with
if
the sword.
Nick Fury
Yeah,
was
I know.
a Skrull this entire time?
I mean, I wondered this episode actually.
Really?
That this whole time he's just been someone he sent down.
He's still on the space.
He's still on sword.
You're right. I mean,
shuffling around in some slides, eating a Pop-Tart.
Yeah.
I guess we
who's
haven't
got
really
my
seen
shoes?
Where's my super suit?
So
Get
being real though, like
Get it?
we haven't seen him injured.
Right. That's
Like,
what
yeah.
exactly. Precisely that.
Yes, we got it, Josh.
Okay.
Jesus. Yeah. So that would be a twist. I would be all for that if that actually happened.
Right.
It would invalidate the entire TV show.
Because of like how they.
I would never watch
explained-
an MCU movie again.
I mean, it'd still be a better twist than the She-Hulk final episode.
Oof.
That went too far meta.
That-
That was
yeah.
yeah.
I mean, but if
That's-
you look at She-Hulk comics, that's pretty much how they do.
Right.
I mean, yeah,
that's true.
that's why I
right.
liked it,
Right.
but it was still weird.
But I think the mistake was with that is that I don't think as many people are familiar with She-Hulk as they were.
They're
hoping.
not.
So it didn't make sense to anybody.
All I know is my eyes rolled so hard I saw my brainstem. So
Anyway,
Anyway,
Right, Nick Fury.
wrapping up a couple other things. Going back to the very beginning, obviously in the last episode, the president was attacked by the Skrulls, who they thought were the Russians because they were in disguise, and they brought him to the hospital. And very first thing is just Nick Fury is like he just pops a squat with that chair and just guards the door himself because like no one else is there to do
Yeah,
it.
I see. I thought that was really cool. Honestly, I thought that was like I was like that. Yeah, that's devotion. That's loyalty right there. I thought that was cool.
And then when when Rhodey showed up, he like instantly pulled the gun out on Rhodey, even though his like Secret Service detail was right there, and he's like, "Do something!" Like that was awesome.
I wanted him to pull the trigger.
Oh, for sure.
Ooh.
Like that
He-
would have been a bold move.
He would have 100% got shot though.
I mean, yeah.
He's been shot before.
Yeah, I'm just
And,
well.
and
not
they're
a
giving
big
Don Cheadle these lines, man.
Don
It is-
Cheadle's been having some cool lines in this show.
Yeah, he is. I also want to punch him though. Like
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, 'cause
he's
like, I
so
know.
smarmy in this. He's just like, oh God, he's doing a good job. Is what he's
Yeah.
doing.
Yeah, he was like, I know
Rhodey
he-
is sassy.
Yeah, he was like, I know you want to kill me, but I know you don't. You're not ready to die. Like,
Yeah.
wow.
Is Rhodey a super Skrull or just a regular Skrull?
We don't know.
Oh, good question.
So I'm wondering if that being shot would actually do anything.
Good question.
I'm gonna say he's a regular scroll.
Okay. She's.
That's gonna be my
Regular.
guess.
She's.
Yeah, technically.
She. You're right.
So
Well, I don't
he's
know
like-
how they pronoun in scrollless.
They.
Well,
They are.
yeah.
They are regular
They.
scroll.
If she
There.
is
Just keep it.
a-
Just keep
if
it safe.
Skrull is a
Or
she
they.
and the human is, I don't know. So I mean, honestly, that's all the big stuff.
Yeah.
The Harvest DNA.
So
Oh.
so he did. Oh. What?
Christian had a reference back to Black Widow.
Oh, yeah, I did.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
The person the person that was supplying Fury the plane
Yeah.
was the person that was supplying all the stuff for Black Widow in the Black Widow film.
This is actually what I was going to say earlier that I forgot about. Giant frickin' robot today spoiled that because it was the thumbnail for their article about the cameo. Was his picture?
You need to quit reading Giant Freaking Robot anyway.
It did, no, I wasn't
Oh,
reading it. It
that's-
just popped up in my feed.
You need
It
to
just
block
popped
him.
up in my
Oh.
feed.
Block him.
Yeah.
I didn't know that was an article.
No, it's an actual. It's like a one person crap fest of
It's a
nerdism.
tabloid. Yeah, it's a nerd tabloid.
Yeah,
It's
it's it's
known
like the Sun
clickbait
for
that just-
nerd
yeah.
stuff.
It's like the Sun.
It's just-
I
You
mean,
know
it's
what
a
I
fair
mean.
comparison. Yeah.
the Sun tabloid, not the
Right.
not the thing that's important to us. The other one
Not
that you can
sold.
actually use for lining in a kitty litter box or a bird cage, that kind of stuff.
Jeez.
Wow.
So much enunciation.
All right. Last thing is that Nick Fury is wanted now because Rhodey did leak the footage of him, not him, shooting
Right.
Agent Hill. So
Special guest star Kobe Smulders.
yeah, every single episode, special guest star, all based on that little bit of a footage. So yeah, little bit of a higher stakes now because he has to kind of like hide as he's trying to accomplish this mission. So it's a wanted man.
Right.
So
I want to mention though, every time I've seen this actor, they have stolen the scene.
Who?
Olivia Colman, who plays
Oh,
the
yeah.
British Secret Service agent.
Oh yes, I love her.
1000%.
that's
She-
what they were saying.
Love
too.
her.
Yeah, where's her
I-
show?
Yeah, right. I want to like she is so just cool. Let's see. Sonia Fallsworth is her character. She's just in such command of everything. She is better than Fury right now. I'm just saying it.
It's bold. It's bold. It's a bold statement.
I mean,
I don't
well,
think
okay,
he's wrong.
she's in more control of what's going on of her world than Nick is of his world. I'll say that.
Oh,
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, she
Is
is like the most polite person
Terrifying.
I am afraid of.
Right? Yeah. You're like, I would not mess with her. No. But anyway, every time I see her pop on screen, I'm like, this is gonna be fun, and it is.
Every time. It's consistent.
Yeah. She's awesome.
All right.
Just
So
want to throw that out there.
this one has been off the rails.
I enjoyed it. I had fun.
That's
Corey
the one
Corey looks so frustrated right now. He's just
He
like,
is.
"Ugh, this is not
I'm just
how I
thinking
saw
about
this
content
going."
optimization. Who's actually going to want to watch this? But whatever. Here we go.
Everyone's gonna have to watch this.
Here we go. So
all the way
let's
to the end.
score this as we always do. As a reminder, because this is a mini series where the story is overarching, we're just updating our scores as we watch more and more. So currently, after the 4 episodes that we've watched previously, Josh, you were sitting at a 4, Jason at a 3.5, I was at a 5, and Christian at a 4.5. So now that we've watched 5 episodes of Secret Invasion, Jason, how are you feeling?
What was that again? I'm so sorry.
You were at a 3.5.
The lowest of the bunch.
I'm gonna leave it right there.
Okay.
3.5.
All right. All right.
I will also be leaving mine at a 4.
All right.
I almost didn't want to do this,
Uh-oh.
but I was wondering where it was going to go.
Uh-huh.
My feelings for Gaia, especially after she got shot and after her dad died, you'd figure that she'd be more in a rage than sorrow, especially for the type of show that we're in.
Yes.
She has been a very confusing character.
Yeah,
Kind of all
Very
over
flat.
the place, really.
Too.
like it's almost like, well, my dad died. Yeah,
Like so far, she hasn't really served a purpose.
right.
She really hasn't,
Yeah.
other than to get Emilia Clarke into the MCU.
That's been literally it. But I feel like that point alone with this episode bring it down to a 4.
Oof. We've had a drop.
Okay.
Well, screw all you guys. I'm keeping it at a 5. Sorry,
And
it's
that's
not
why
for
we
you.
love you, Corey.
Yeah.
That's why we love you.
I'm just saying. I can find the positives in anything.
Can
except for Thor: Love and Thunder.
Yeah. I know the goats. The goats are
I
fucking
knew you were going to say
hilarious.
that. I knew you were going to say that. All right, so let's do final thoughts. Any final thoughts as we go into the last episode of the show next week?
I hope it's an hour.
Yeah, it's been some pretty short
I
episodes,
hope-
like 30,
I
35
hope-
minutes.
Make it an hour and a half. Make it a little movie. I'm good
Yeah.
with that.
That'd be dope.
All right.
Yeah. I mean, because this was a short episode. Like every other episode has been like an hour, right?
Yeah.
Except for
It's
the first episode.
Collectively, it's probably
really-
like
Last
22
week's was
minutes.
30. This one was 35.
Oh, was it? Okay, never
Yeah.
mind then. All right.
I mean, I just think they didn't quite have enough content to make 6 full episodes.
Yeah.
So they just kind of did what they could. Like, it probably could have been a really mean 5 episodes.
Do we have bold predictions as we wrap
Let's
this
see.
show up? What's going to happen next week?
I guess we already made our bold prediction. Is that,
Harrison Ford shows up.
well, not that one. That
Oh.
this Nick Fury is
That's
a
my
Skrull.
prediction. I think it's way more likely they would get a Harrison Ford cameo than Nick Fury is a Skrull.
All right, so Harrison Ford cameo, Nick Fury's a Skrull. Jason, do you have one?
I think they're gonna kill his wife.
Oh,
I think
After all
we're
that.
not. I don't think she's gonna make it,
okay.
and I hate that because I really like her character.
Yeah.
Um.
I think we're going to have a massive cliffhanger. Like nothing's actually tied up this episode at all, and it leads into something.
Or like the movies, these past few movies,
Movies.
Movies.
Wonder Woman would just show up for no reason.
Oh, Wonder
Just
Woman.
for no reason.
Whole different
Right.
universe. Yes.
That's funny.
Yeah. 3-minute cameo.
Watch like
But you're in the wrong universe.
Like,
It's a
hold up.
multiverse now.
All she does is look directly into the camera and smile, because that's
Right.
what she does in all of her other cameos.
watch all of this recent press that Robert Downey Jr. has been doing. He just randomly shows up in this episode for the first time in years.
I mean,
I don't know
it
how I
wouldn't
feel
break
about
my
that.
heart, but it better be worth it.
It wouldn't be. There's no scenario where it would be
Yeah.
worth it.
Oh my God!
Keep
What
him
if
dead?
what
Here
if
in
Tony
the dead.
Stark is like a Force ghost? That'd be amazing.
Well, it is Disney.
They could do it.
Qui-Gon Stark.
Oh, we got to end this. All right. Thank you for tuning in to whatever this episode was.
The next one will be better.
I hope. But it has given me an idea that we need to do a little temp check on the MCU as a whole. Maybe just a whole separate episode about that. So
Clearly, we have thoughts.
apparently,
Clearly.
didn't realize it was that deep.
15
So
minutes of thoughts.
It is
I love
that deep.
love it. So thank you for tuning in. Make sure you come back.
You're
next
welcome.
week.
Oh, you're talking to them. I'm sorry.
We'll wrap it up. Also, make sure you go check out our Star Trek Strange New World Season 2 reaction videos airing every Friday as we wrap up Season 2 these next 5 weeks. We also have our Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1 review video that just came out on our YouTube channel.
Right.
We're also doing our weekly podcast every Tuesday. We have some special guests coming up on this next episode. And also, we're doing a double feature. The Barbenheimer double feature. We're going to be reviewing both of those movies next week, so be on the lookout for that.
Woo!
That's a lot. We got a lot of content. We have content.
Content.
Yeah,
So much content. Content. Content.
Make content one more time.
Content.
Take it easy, people.